Doing well. Today I will be talking about getting canceled at work. Yes, canceled. And so when I say that, I'm not talking about cancel culture like, your favorite actor gets canceled because he did something out of line. This is a different kind of cancel. So let's go ahead and get started. What do I mean when I say getting canceled? So getting canceled means that basically you're getting sent home or you're being told to not come into work. So the main reason for this is usually low census, so we don't have a lot of patients on the unit, so we don't need so many nurses. Low census is basically when you are overstaffed, so it's the opposite of when you have a ton of patients and you're understaffed. The first time that I was actually sent home was when I was working as a tech back in South Carolina on a double ICU floor. And it was actually perfect timing because it was the day before I took the NCLEX, so the charge nurse was like, hey, you can go home early if you want and have some time to study for the NCLEX. So it worked out perfectly. So in the nursing world, we do the same thing. It's not just for techs, obviously. On the unit that I currently work, usually when they have to cancel nurses at work, they usually go for the nurses that are already signed up for overtime because obviously this cuts down on costs, how much you have to pay you. So they usually will go to the nurses who are, doing overtime first and tell them, hey, since this is low, we need you to go home. It's important to keep in mind that when you sign up for an overtime shift, you may not end up working that shift because you can be canceled if census is low. Of course, that sucks when you're looking to pick up an extra shift to pull in some extra money, but it happens. Now, if there are any nurses who are doing overtime, they will go to other nurses and just ask them, hey, do you want to go home because our census is low? So you have the choice to say yes or no if you're not doing overtime. Also, if you're not doing overtime and they send you home, they will just use your PTO to pay you. So it's not like you're going to miss out on any money if you get sent home. Another way that you can be canceled at work is before you even show up to work. So let's say I had to go to work this morning at 7 a.m. So before I even get to work, I may get a call from the charge nurse at about 5 a.m., just a few hours early, and they may say, hey, census is low, we're just checking to see if maybe you didn't want to come in today and you want to use some PTO and just have the day off. So once again, if I'm not doing overtime, I have the option to say yes or no. I can say, you know what, I think I will stay home. You can use my PTO. It'll be nice to have a day off and, get paid for it. Or I can say, no, it's already close to 7 and I was already prepared to come in. I already, I don't have any plans. It's too late to make plans. And I'd rather just save my PTO. So no, I think I'm just going to come into work today. So yes, you do have the option to say yes or no when you're not doing overtime that week. Another way that you can be canceled is actually called AST. And honestly, I don't even know what that means. I forgot to ask around and see what that meant before I made this video, but whatever. I was told it's called AST. So a couple of months ago, I was supposed to come into work, day shift, and I got a call from charge nurse at like 5 in the morning. Mind you, I'm sleeping, and so I answered the phone all groggy. I'm like, hello? And so the charge nurse is like, oh, hey, hope I didn't wake you up. And I'm just like, obviously you woke me up, but I didn't say that. I was just like, oh, it's okay. So she says, you're AST, and I'm like, I don't know what that means because I'm still, fairly new at this point. And she goes, well, yeah, I know you don't know what that means. So basically, we have low census. So if I call you at 10 o'clock in the morning, I need you to show up at noon. If I don't call you, then you have the day off and we'll just use your PTO to pay you. And so it's actually starting to get to me because I think I was already supposed to have like 4 days off after the shift and I was planning on going home to South Carolina. So I thought about it and I was like, if I don't go into work, that'll give me an extra day to go home and spend time with my friends and family. So I agreed to it. Once again, it was my choice whether I want to do it or not. So I agreed to it. And I didn't get a phone call by 10 o'clock. So I didn't have to go to work. I had the day off and I was canceled. But it worked out great and I just used my PTO, to cover my pay. So yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to being canceled and having low census on your unit. I really didn't know much about it before I started working as a nurse. My first experience with it was at one time as a tech, And that was it. You know, no one ever talked to me about it or explained it to me, so it was new to me. So I just wanted to make a quick video to let you guys know that yes, you can be canceled at work. I'm not sure how it works in all hospitals or all units, but for the most part, it's usually when there's just low census and they don't need so many nurses because there's not a lot of patients, and they kind of just want to save on money. So they may ask you to use your PTO and not come in. But of course, where I work, it's up to us if we're not doing overtime, whether or not we want to use our PTO or whether or not we want to come in. Oh, and before I go, do you guys like my shirt? It's like, you know, I gotta represent. So I hope that you found this video helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a lovely day. Bye.